stats, we see that more than 6,000 collisions within work zones in only 1 year. That's telling us something that we need to address the intrusions to our work zone. But when we are talking about intrusion, work zone intrusion, so there are different factors involved in it. First is the vehicles and drivers. So speeding, distraction, entering the closed lanes or not merging. So workers, if they are crossing the active lanes, if they are working in close proximity to the live traffic, or they bypass safety protocols and environment. So how the lanes are, how many lanes, how they are merging, the curve roads, weather or lighting. All of these ones are contributing to work zone intrusion. 2 years, many people's work on the work zone intrusion and many technology came up that they either reactive or proactive. Majority of them are reactive, so such as the ones that they are impact driven. So the intrusion should happen that hit these ones, and then the alert and siren will start providing warnings similar to what you see on the video, and the workers will have like limited time to find the escape path. There is only one proactive system out there that is more like a flagging system. So this type of systems is using the like radar in order to identify time to collision and provide some warning. So we have this project almost like 5 years ago that we go through all of these technology. We tested them in like different control and active work zone, and no single technology can completely address the issue. They cannot get connected. They cannot address the issue for the current and the future traffic conditions, and they cannot accommodate static and mobile work zone. So that's why that we started our second project with Indiana Department of Transportation. So to look at the work zone intrusion and see that how we can provide some suggestions to address regular vehicle, connected and autonomous one. And then later on, we just also secure like funding from Smart to do further development, evaluation, and deployment in active work zones. So today, I'm mainly going to focus on the part of the smart work zone and the regular vehicle and connected and autonomous vehicle research is going on. So how our system is envisioned. So the drivers are getting close to the work zone. So they identify as they might have the risk of intrusion. So we provide them like warning using the like PCMS. And then, but still they are not reducing their speed. They are getting close to the work zone. So we're going to increase the level of warning for them. They might intrude the work zone. So now we need to warn the workers and make sure that they find the proper escape path. So this was what envisioning about the whole project. So you see three elements here. So first, where the work zone is, what is the layout of that one? Second is that if the work zone is active, if workers are there, where they are, how many of them, and if we can track them. And the last but not least, very important one is the live traffic, how they are behaving as they are getting close to the work zone. So all of these three elements will contribute to the decision-making system that we want to have, that we put it under the umbrella of the digital twin. So I think everyone on the call might be familiar with the digital twin, but just give you one slide introduction of that one. So digital twin is a virtual replica of the physical facility that has the bidirectional relation with the physical facility. So we assume that if we have the physical work zone and we have the virtual work zone will understand about physical ones and provide the real-time warning. So the overall goal of this project is to develop, evaluate, and deploy the work zone digital twin to address the intrusion. So when we are talking about the digital twin, there are two main stream that we need to take care of it. Physical to virtual, how we get the data from the physical to virtual, and then how our virtual environment will have the AI embedded to understand the situation and provide alert and feedback for the physical one. So how we will get that data, how we will communicate that one to our digital world, and how digital world will analyze that is very important. So I want to give you like an overview about how the system is functioning. When we're talking about physical to virtual world, there are three concepts that we mainly look at. First, the geometry. So the roadway where the work zone is. And second one is that what is the layout and then how like we use the different channelizing devices in order to shape our work zone. And the next one is the elements that are more dynamic about vehicles and the workers. So we use the Google Map API as the base for our digital twin. So we don't want to like map the virtual work zone on something that is imaginary or hypothetical. We use the Google Map to get the most accurate one. And we use foldable cones embedded with the embedded GPS system from our PSS innovation collaborator in order to mark the geofence area. So how the system is working and or we integrate as a part of our system is that the foldable cones and easel will be open and we can mark the geofence area of our work zone. Why it is important for us? Because we want to warn the drivers like when they are getting to the work zone, and we want to track the workers as they are within the geofence area. So it's very important for us that we don't have the general idea about work zone when the work zone starts and ends. We have a very detailed real-time data about where the channelizing devices are located and the whole geofence area of our work zone. So through the system in real time, we get all of those information. No matter how long the work zone is, we will mark the whole geofence area. And then the last part is about workers and vehicles. So in terms of workers, it's important for us to see that if they are present and if they are present where they are. What does it matter for us? How many times you guys were like driving through the like highways and you see that they set up the work zone for a long time and you drive through that one for like weeks and you didn't see any worker working there. So probably the next time you are not going to reduce your speed, right? So you are going with 70 miles per hour. You see the sign that is reduced speed is 55, but you never will reduce it. And the reason is that I passed through this work zone and then it was never reactive, right? And it's normal. Like Department of Transportation may close the road for like 6, 7 months, but they may work for like limited weeks within those months, right? So it's important for us to get that data if the worker are present in the work zone or if the work zone is active or not. If it's active, we can provide better warning for the drivers. If it's not, we can take it easy, right? So, and many of the DOTs now, the worker presence is very important for them because they are enforcing some like a speed limit. And in Indiana DOT, currently, it's not allowed to do the speed enforcement. So, but what we can do is that to understand about that if the worker are present over there, if the work zone is active and adjusted our warning system for them. How we are doing that one, we want to have it in the less intrusive option that we might have. So we use like beacon that is hanged to the worker's hard hat. So, and in real time, we understand if there are workers in the work zone and if there are, how many of them. But this is only giving us the presence. It's not giving us their positions. And also the later on of our project is about their productivity or other data. So for that part, we are using LiDAR. So we want to get the real-time positions of them to detect like where they are and if they are violating the geofence area. So we started with one LiDAR system, pre-trained model, and then fine-tuned of that one and make it work. But then we face some occlusion issues, right? So, and in order to address that one, we try to have multi-LiDAR calibration. You may ask that why we use the LiDAR and not the camera, because workers don't like to be watched. None of us would like to be watched. I don't want anyone to put a camera in my office and see me the whole time. And then LiDAR will provide us the opportunity that we do some like we know where they are, but we don't know who they are. We are not getting their face information. We are not getting identifiable information. So it will give them the sense that they are not going to get fired because if they are violating anything. So we build a better trust through our LiDAR than camera. So how we are using this multi-LiDAR calibration is that we are getting the local coordinates from both of them, and then the extrinsic metrics is helping us to have the fused point clouds of the data that we then in real time will fine tune that one, and then we have the detection result. Let me show you a little bit. So when you use each like one LiDAR, so at the site we have occlusion or sometimes fragmented, but when we are actually fuse them, we can properly identify the items that we were missing. And as you see, we can clearly know where they are. And then if they are violating the geofence area without getting any identifiable information. Last but not least, very important information, like we know about where the work zone is, we know about like geofence area, we know about if it's active, but in order to protect our workers, we need to know about the vehicles that they are approaching. And we are looking at that from two perspectives. So using the radar and using camera. There are several of these systems out there. So we actually tested almost everything. And then so we got to the point that so factors that they are being considered, usually they are very limited. So it is very important for us that we look at the literature, we did the focus group, and we look at the Aries crash data. So our Aries data that we had access to is looking at the police report for different work zone crashes. So it will help us to identify what factors contribute to the work zone intrusions, and we need to address that one. There is no work zone intrusion database available. We are hoping that by end of our project it will be, but there's nothing like that. It's all about work zone crashes. So we need to rely on our previous project, the literature review focus group, and also some cameras, like videos from the camera on the TMA. So I have a very scary movies that I can show you if you would like, that how the work zone intrusion happened and how the intruded vehicles went through the work zone and then hit the workers. It's not a nice video, but it just provide us a very like our industry partners and also like a QWIT that we are working with and our DOT share those videos with us. So we can identify variables. Majority of the systems that are out there only looking at the speed and distance or time to collision. If the time to collision as just being identified is provide warning, similar to the AVER system that I emphasized at the beginning of my presentation. But we just say, no, we're going to look at the more important variables. So we're going to look at the speed, distance, trajectory, lane, and the type. And we're going to develop our decision support system in order to make a decision when we need to provide warning to what intensity. And so we are using speed, distance, and trajectory in order to provide and form the radar. While the other type, what other type of data we can get it from radar, but we are not using it because the radar is using the dimension based for the categorizing the type of the car that can be impacted by many things like lighting, occlusion, or other things, and the camera can do a better job. And then lane estimation, we do something with our radar, but majority we are relying on the camera for that. That I'm gonna explain. So they are actually complementing each other. Just scared off, it's actually happened. Okay, sorry, give me 1 second. Stop sharing and sharing again. So So as we were like focusing on our radar and camera, I'm going to go through and then explain about how we do the analysis and how we fuse data from both part, and then how we actually start using those ones and implement those ones at different job sites. Um, sure that can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Sorry for technical difficulty. So a lot of videos on the file. So the radar that we are using is a Light radar that you might be familiar with, and then we are using it due to the amazing field of view, the number of objects that we can detect, and then the building algorithm that is on the system. So we have the opportunity to get the speed, distance, and local coordinate, but it's not enough for us. The lane estimation based on the distribution of the vehicle trajectory points are very important for us that we develop this like that one based on the data that we are getting and the point cloud data that we have it from the radar to understand the lane. From the radar point of view, we also doing some coordinate transformation based on the GPS attached to our radar, so that we are getting the like the local coordinate to go to the global coordinate that is needed for when we want to fuse it with the camera. And then for the camera, we are focusing on the like very simple camera that actually it has a good resolution and field of view. And as you see, our radar can cover like 1,000 feet, and then the detection rate for our camera is 350. We are not worried about it because we only will use our camera when the drivers get too close to the work zone and they are not reducing their speed. So as you see, we are using the like camera to identify the car and getting some coordinates and try to match those ones with our radar. How we are doing that one? So the camera and radar data will be used in order to have our homography metrics. But more importantly, we are using Hungarian algorithm in order to match them. So we are looking at the coordinates from both sides, and if the difference is less than 1.8 meter, so or the half of the lane width, we will match them. And then the fuse data can help us to understand the speed, distance, lane, and then global coordinates and the vehicle type. So far, the information that we got is actually helping us to understand the get the data from the physical world. But we need to do some risk prediction. That was a problem, right? So there is no risk prediction models, and we are doing all of this one to develop the model that can help us to predict and be more proactive in terms of predicting the risk of the intrusion, and then provide warning. How we are doing that one in terms of workers? So we are identifying the violation. So we know where they are heading to. So we have algorithm that will understand if they are heading to and they are gonna violate the geofence area of the work zone. If it is, we're gonna consider that one as higher risk. So I'm going to explain about each one of them as we are moving forward, but wanted to provide a general overview about how a risk prediction algorithm works. So if the vehicles that they are getting close to the work zone, 1,000 feet, and they are changing their lanes less than twice, so we're going to look at the speed distance joint distribution. If they are within the less than the 95% of the probability, we're going to consider that one as lower risk. But if they frequently changing their lanes, or if their speed or distance like joint distribution is telling us that they are on the upper like 5% of the probability, we're going to consider them as reckless drivers. And then we're going to start monitoring their trajectory and predicting their trajectory afterwards. If they're going to crash to the work zone, yes, it's going to consider as a high risk. If not, we're going to look at the type of the car. If it's a truck getting close to the work zone, changing lanes, and also the speed distance as like joint distribution is telling us that the risk of intrusion might be high and the person is getting the speed, reduced speed is 55 miles per hour, but the truck is going 80 miles or more. You might just say, no, they are. They are. We are testing this ones at the work zone, especially on Saturday night. You're going to see a lot of trucks passing by with like more than 90 miles per hour during nighttime. So this is not something like that we just can say like we can avoid it, and especially later at nights after 12 midnight, these are happening, and then we need to identify them. And trucks are the ones that we consider as them higher risk. So if even they are not going to crash and they are checking the boxes for other things, we are still going to consider that one as a high risk. But I want to talk about the two algorithms that we have it in place: the speed distance joint distribution and the trajectory prediction. So we are looking at the speed distance joint distribution that I think the community on the call, they are very familiar with that one. And then what you see on the screen, it's from one of our data collections. So that's why that you see the frequency as well. But we are mainly focusing on 95% and above. If they are within that one, we're going to consider them as they are having the more than medium risk of intruding the work zone. But the most important part is our trajectory prediction one. So how we are doing that one, we are using our like first LSTM in order to look at the temporal information about the vehicles. And then we are focusing on some like influential surrounding vehicles in order to do our spatial attention mechanism. And then we do the temporal attention mechanism, mainly focusing on the critical timestamps in our historical moments. And that helps us to like predict the future trajectory of the cars. So we use the 3 second and then we predict 4 seconds afterwards. So I want to show you the snapshot of how our digital twin, which is Unity-based, look like. As you see, the Google map is there. The points that you see it on a screen is showing the geofence area of the work zone. Live, we know that the traffic that they are passing by, and we know that if they are low risk, medium, or the high risk. So on the left bottom, you see that what we are tracking. So we know that if they are in medium or high, which means that we need to start the PSA alert. We know that if the HAS alert is activated or not, that I will explain. We know that what message is appearing because our message on the PCMS or the portable changeable message sign is actually changing based on their behavior. And then we know how many first guard, the foldable cones we have, how many beacons, how many work zone workers are there, and how many vehicles pass by. So as we know about the low, medium, and high risk, we are not done. We need to do something about it and how we are doing it. So through 3 different channels that we have it. We do in-vehicle warning to the HAS alert. For our connected and autonomous vehicle, we do more in-vehicle warning that I will be happy that in future provide more updates about that one. But for now, in-vehicle warning, we are mainly focusing on HAS alert on their navigation map. We use the portable site alarm. I will explain why we chose that one, and the PCMS messages. For each one of them, let me provide you more details. So we look at the more than 120 different message signs that we can put on the PCMS. Anything that those has the humor, those that they are identified by different DOTs and other contractors. So we tested those ones. We have the human factor specialists in our team. So we tested those one with more than 100 drivers to see that which messages is actually give them the sense of urgency and to what extent. And with consultation with Indiana DOT, we were able to identify the set of messages that are better for the lower risk, those for the medium risk and the higher risk. So which means that our messages on the portable changeable message sign are changing and customized based on the behavior of the drivers. The PSA units is actually very special unit, that we tested in our previous project and we carry it to this one. That's the only siren that we found that it will penetrate into all the noises that we have at the job site. And we use the two different lighting and like decibel in order to provide warning. Let's hear that one. I hope that you hear it. If you cannot hear it, just let me know. So the medium risk. Sorry, I went to the high. So you see that it has a very distinctive sound that it will penetrate, right? And we receive a very good feedback that the workers can hear it and wave, you will hear it. So that there are a lot of collisions and other. It's the only siren that we test that actually can be heard inside the car. And the hacker actually will identify where the work zone is and one mile to just form the work zone. So people that you're using Apple Map and they are using Waze, they're gonna receive the warning that there's a work zone ahead, and we can customize the
Sogand, we are losing your audio. After you play the audio, you are breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
You're breaking up. It sounds like your internet connection got here. We hear you, but it's very choppy. Like every syllable is slightly cut off.
And it happened after the alarm. That's why I asked if you could disconnect and reset something again.
Okay. Is it better now?
No.
It just happened after you play that sound. It just start breaking. Try again.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. So I changed my microphone. So please let me know if it's, there's also an issue. As I said, so we are getting the data from the real world and then providing the alert for the physical world, making sure our workers are alerted and also the drivers. So I want to use this opportunity to tell you about the two deployment that we have. We did more, and we actually have one tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. I should be in another job site for the testing. So, but I'm using these two because there are two different type of project in two different states. So we started from Indiana, but now we are just doing the things in Texas, Florida, and others because other DOTs and contractors are excited for this one. And so about the Texas, so we are working on the largest construction project in nation that you may know that is going on in Dallas, Texas, and it's being taken care of by Kiewit. So we are privileged to have access to the site and then for the development and the deployment of our technology. So I'm going to start this one, and then I'm hoping that you will hear it, and then I will explain. So as you saw, like that, this system were designed to mount on the TMA. We are not now mounting on the TMA. We are mounting it on the light pole or the trailer because it's more accessible, more portable, and we can carry it to the different job site. So on this one, we mount everything on the light pole, the generator, so we have the power. And in real time, we were able to use the camera and radar data, and then we were able to understand, you see the different car colors. So that is actually showing that which one has the low risk, high risk, or medium risk of intrusion. And then our alert is actually changing based on that one. So I'm going to get more details about the Kokomo, Indiana job site that we did it. So in this one, we use a trailer. So the systems are mounted on that one. Setting up the system, like the whole system, the integrated system and the AI and the digital twin is very quick. So because like hanging things for us and then like marking the geofence area, it just happening in just, let's say, like 20 minutes or so. And then, like in real time, also we do some recalibration of each site, that we need to know about the number of lanes and other things that are going on. But so we mounted this one. This is actually very recent, couple of days ago. So we know very clearly we have the taper part, that we have the channelizing devices, and then we also have the concrete barrier in the work area. So we use the first car to mark the geofence area beacon to know that if the work zone is active, and how many workers do we have on that one. We got the data from the radar and camera, and fuse them to identify the risk, and we use the HAS and PSA for warning. So you see the foldable cones, very easy to deploy that one, and we integrate as a part of our system. Very easy. We were just able to mark the whole geofence area, and then we put all our sensors on the trailer, and we usually put the trailer or park the TMA at the back of the arrow board, that we want to see how they will perceive the arrow board and change their behavior. So we can get the data about okay, what cars are passing and other things. But the most important things for us is as we have the contractor also there and the DOT to show them about how the system works. So the PSA units, the siren that you heard it, and then after that one you couldn't hear me. So those ones are actually, we put those ones, several of them throughout the work zone, right? So 5 of them, 3 of them in the taper area, and then 2 of them in taper area, 3 of them in the work site. So because if the drivers are not changing their behavior, we keep alerting them, and we use this one to alert the workers as well. And then the HAS alert is just, as you see, we receive the notification, and we know that the drivers are receiving those one as well. So let's watch this one together, and then you see that if the driver getting approach to the work zone, not reducing the speed, and what will happen. So look at the one that is identified on the right-hand side. The alert has started. And in real time, we can see about how many of them, how many vehicles are within the scene. And then we know about if we have the high-risk drivers, and then we know that if the PSA system getting activated, and we know that what message is now appearing or adjusted on the portable message sign. So our layout is having 2 message sign in advance, and then 1 arrow board, and then the PSA units. So the PSA unit, what you heard it, is actually the last chance. We are just going to be so loud to warn them, because we already tried with the HAS, we already tried with the message sign, and they were not paying attention to. So as you know, any cyber physical system that being developed, we need to verify and validate the system. So when we did the verification for the tested site last week, we know that we were able to cover 2,000 feet of the work zone for the geofence area. We were 100% accurate in order to get the worker presence. We were able to detect almost 1,700 vehicles. And then the range of the detection for the traffic monitoring was 1,000 feet, on average, that successfully, that is what we intended to do, and we were able to achieve those one. Within those 1,700 vehicles detected, 6% of them, almost 7% of them, were medium risk. They were not changing their behavior. They are checking the boxes, and they are getting close, like the video that I show, and then we provide warning. Almost less than 1% are the ones that they really were just too close to the work zone, not merging, not reducing the risk, and then not reducing their speed, and then they merge at the last moment. And so in 7% of the time, so our PSA alert activated. And looking at the 2, in terms of validation, 2 systems that we use it, like the PSA unit and the HAS alert. PSA units activated. For the medium risk, we were able to reduce the speed of the vehicles by 22 miles per hour. Just imagine what they were going. They were posted speed was 55, so we were able to reduce it 22. So which means that they are going almost 77. And the high risk, we were able to reduce it 36 miles per hour. So just imagine how they were getting close to the work zone. And then for low risk that we didn't provide any warning for them, 15%, 15 miles per hour, that is normal because they will see the signs and others. Definitely they will reduce their speed. But we see the significant changes when we provide alert for them. When we put the HAS alert, we are now analyzing the data, but we don't know how many vehicles receive it. So that's why that I put that note. But we didn't see that huge changes, which means that proactive warning way ahead 5 miles to the work zone was not that effective. So our system, the PSA, our message signs that there are like 1,000 feet or so to the work zone, they were like more effective because they have the sense that they are getting close to the work zone. So wrapping up, I think pretty on time. So about so we are trying to integrate different technology and develop the AI platform into our digital twin that in real time we can see what is happening around our work zone and be proactive in terms of providing warning. So we are checking the boxes for the limitations that we saw it, and it already exists on the different methodology, looking at the different variables, and we are deploying this one. We did a lot of control testing, but now we are testing this one in real world setting. And then, so after a lot of like testing, verification and validation results now in the active work zone showing a very satisfactory result. So we are now focusing on like providing and pushing that information to our connected and autonomous vehicle. And then I presented about the stationary, but the system that we have, it is a scalable. It's actually working for the mobile work zone as well. So our system also has the capability in real time is pushing the information into the work zone data exchange. And so we are not publishing it now because Indiana DOT is just like observing that one to just do some validation on that. But everything are written in the format that it will be pushed to the work zone data exchange. And then in the next couple of weeks, we're also going to have the more deployment for the stationary and the mobile work zone. And again, the thing that I presented is a work of the amazing group and the team that we work together. And so with that, I will open the floor for the questions.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sharing.
Joshua, go ahead.
Yeah, so several of my colleagues is working on work zones specifically recently. So I guess they have some more deeper question. So thanks for the impressive work. I just want to share some information about our recent development on the 3D digital testing platform. So we use the Kala and the Sumo core simulation approach to set up the 3D digital testing platform that's to enable the external researcher and developer can work on that. So I think we are able to like beyond the capacity and the capability of the field testing, we are able to generate and regenerate the scenario, including traffic and the individual vehicle behavior repeatedly without the concern of that the costly field testing. So, and more importantly, if you want to generate some high risk event, that can be a good a methodology that we can generate this kind of scenario. And also we not only create like the traffic and object entities, we also can create the synthetic data. Like then you can use your camera and other sensors actually to make detection on this generative scenario. So I just want to share this information. If maybe we can have some collaboration in the future to make this work zone testing more scalable and practical.
Of course, thank you, Joshua. That's amazing. I'm glad that to meet you. So and also learn about that. So I definitely will reach out because So we did we needed to actually collect a lot of actual data for this one. And you're right, for the low risk, high impact, the ones that you say like the highly risky scenarios, we need to simulate that one. So I can say, you don't know how many times I drive through the work zone and intrude the work zone to be able to just get the data for this one. And so I think this 3D regenerative simulation that you said, it actually will be very helpful. And consider that we have some data that can inform some simulations and take it from that point for the more synthetic data and simulation. I'm looking forward to it. I definitely will reach out. I would love to learn more about that one, and I'm sure that we will be great to just start collaboration about that.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely.
Yes. My name is Peggy, and it's good to first thank you for the great presentation. We are at PASS also working on this smart work zone data and WZDX. What we are focusing on currently is actually to try to integrate this with vehicle side. So it's good to see PSS. We also working with them to get the smart barrels, and also see you are having the devices attached to the workers. That is something really related with human factors, and which I was trained as a human factors researcher, and we should definitely follow up on those. And I do have one question though. So for the warning, have you considered to use some kind of vibration to the workers, because their working environment is kind of both very noisy and also, you probably don't expect them to hear the alert from the devices. It could be annoying, and it could be like to the group rather than to an individual, right? So that's just the one question I ask from the human factors perspective.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a very nice meeting you, Peggy. So, yes, we did a lot of testing in our project that I said in 2020. So we did a lot of different alerting system, different vibrating system, different sound system for the workers, and then see which one are more effective. I can say by confidence, and also in the first video I showed that something was just vibrating on them, and we tested that one. So it was not effective at all. And the reason for that one is that when the workers are within the work zone and through the live traffic, the whole time they are vibrating. So I said that the trucks and the cars are passing by 80 miles per hour. So they constantly feel the vibration, and the roller and the heavy equipment are going on. Whenever we turn on the vibration, no matter how we increase the intensity and others, they really will understand something is going on. So they don't feel it, even we put it on the different part of their body to just see which one are more effective. So we find some area that is more effective, but all of them, they usually at the end, we ask them if you said that, yes, I feel a little bit, but they start ignoring it because they said that the whole time from ground, I'm vibrating. So that's why that it's just, it was our DOT just decided to not move forward with the vibrator because testing workers, we find some opposite result. And for the sound system, no, we did a lot of siren and alert. The PSA unit is the only one that will penetrate. So no matter what is going on and how noisy it is, the three-tone distinctive sound system that they have, it will penetrate to the work zone. And the workers will always hear that one and react to it. So the other systems that we use, the siren that they are out there, they are more like the emergency vehicle. So and that when we tested those one, the workers actually looking for the emergency vehicle passing by instead of having the sense that intrusion happen or some high risk. So so the siren that you see the PSI, and so it's coming from the 4 years ago, the research that we did it and testing different system. And then vibration will actually, like, we push for that one. We wanted to have it on this one. And we use some of the vibration system that we have it that's pretty strong. And and we receive a very negative feedback from the workers. So that they either not notice it or it was annoying for them. They prefer the sound system. So but I know that in a normal construction job site it works better. So I use a lot of that one in the building construction job site for workers, and it's working perfectly. But for the highway work zones and considering the live traffic, unfortunately we couldn't receive good feedback. We need to drop it because workers are just saying, I didn't recognize any alert.
Thank you. We should definitely follow up.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay, any other questions from either audience in person or audience online? Okay, if not, then let's thank our speaker again, and thank you, Professor Sogand, for the very nice talk, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the
Thank you.
opportunity. I appreciate it. And definitely we'll follow up and would be happy to discuss further or expand this one to any collaboration from this point on. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
Great work.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
presentation and great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.